We know Huawei already from good flagship phones, but what about mid-range phones? With the Nova 9, they showed that they can produce good mid-range phones as well after the US ban. Now with the Nova 10 Pro, they try to get a foot into the door of premium mid-range phones. So I will do an unboxing here right now and check out if it really can perform as good as Huawei is claiming. So let's get started. So here's the packaging of the Huawei Nova 10 Pro, as you can see, with the nice Nova logo and Explore It on App Gallery. And typical Huawei box. You can see it's a larger box, so it has also a nice charger inside. And here it's something very interesting because it comes with a 100-watt charger. Explore It on App Gallery, pedal search, phone clone, and App Gallery. The phone itself packaged up here. What's the specialty about this phone? Yeah, we will check it out in a few seconds. Then we have here the box with the SIM pin, a bit of paperwork here, as well as a case, a little TPU soft case and warranty card as well. Then we have the highlight, probably the big 100-watt charging brick here, as you can see here, which will allow to charge the phone in like roughly 20 minutes, a bit more than 20 minutes, which is, I think, pretty cool and awesome. And a USB-C to A cable that can charge this without any issue. So let's check out the phone itself. So this phone comes in this plastic bag and then wrapped around in plastic as well. So let's open this up. And here we have the phone with a screen protector pre-installed. The pill cutout shape, and this is one of the highlights, 60 megapixel front-facing autofocus camera as well as an 8 megapixel zoom camera. And then we have some volume buttons here and the red accent power button. We have the main camera, 50 megapixel, a depth sensor and an ultra wide angle 8 megapixel sensor that has now also autofocus, which is pretty nice. The 50 megapixel main sensor has RYYB, so it's very good for low light as well. And yeah, we have the Nova logo here and Huawei logo, as well as some of the designed options. You can see this is the starry black version that has this matte kind of glass finish. We have a 6.7 inch, I think it is, screen that is slightly curved, as you can see. And as you can see, it has a protection foil, a screen protector on it. Let's start it up and see which operating system we are running. I'm pretty sure it's Emotion UI 13 or 12, something like this. Because this is the global version of the device. As you can see here, this is the European plug, so has to be the global version. Yeah, no Harmony OS here, just the Huawei logo, so it is probably running Emotion UI. And starting up right now, you can see EMUI, so Emotion UI, and we have the pill cutout shape that you can see here. Pretty small and reminds me a little bit of the Magic 4 Ultimate when you compare it with each other. Very close to each other in terms of size. And just, I think, missing the 3D face unlock here. So I will check it out here. By default, it comes with the Celia keyboard, so I can enter here my password with the right keyboard, as you can see here, the Celia keyboard. And of course, we have a fingerprint ID that we can use here for setting it up. So let me change this to very easy pin. And then add a fingerprint, and I can use here this inbuilt display fingerprint to just add my fingerprint. And the same way I can set up a face recognition, so add my pin, enable raise to wake, I don't want to, and then put my face in there, and it is a 2D face scan because, as you saw eventually that it is not asking me to turn my head around, so it's just 2D, so it doesn't have 3D face detection here. And now I can log into my Huawei ID. And then of course you have the possibility to import data from your previous device, restore it from Huawei Cloud Backup, set up as new device, or move data from another device. I set up as a new device here, and yeah, we can go with gestures here as well, and the tutorial starts. Here you can see the home screen of the device with app gallery, my Huawei device, and already a software update. As you can see here, we already have Emotion 12 running, but not 13 like on the Mate 50 Pro. So I can go into details here, can check out the information about this optimized camera performance in certain scenarios. And I also want to install this one because if I want to try out the cameras, I want to have the latest version, so I can tell you about the camera quality a bit more accurate here. I have a little bit of bloatware. You can see Huawei apps here, but the bloatware you can find here, and there we have like entertainment apps where you can see large photos. Okay, app advisor, agree. So those are not really installed applications, but they have a little download button, so they're basically advising us to install this. But I would call it definitely bloatware still, or like a bit of advertisement for different applications. You can see we have various different folders here that I really don't like to have because those things are not really installed. This is installed: Microsoft Office, Microsoft Translator, and Microsoft Bing under top apps, and we have some Huawei own tools as well as Member Center and some other tools in here like Paddle Clip, for example, a nice video editor from Huawei. But this is basically everything that we have in terms of bloatware. As usually, you can get software from the app gallery, and it's also giving you links. Like I want to download DRM info here, it giving you links, or Netflix you can even download here, giving you links to third parties. That is opening up now the browser and allows me to download the DRM info from APK Pure in this case, where I have to click download here, download. Talking about DRM info, if you go into this, you can see we have white wine level 1, which should allow us to play back HD content quality from Netflix. But sadly, we have only the L3 here on Netflix, so only SD quality. Maybe this will be fixed in the future by Netflix, because this one has L1 and it's working fine on Amazon Prime and Disney Plus that I also have installed here. When it comes to sound, we have dual stereo speakers. As you can see here, there's an output there and there's an opening at the bottom as well. So really stereo speakers on this premium mid-range handset is very, very cool. So we get rich sounding bass that is not 2D, but it's still there. We have good highs, and it's not not like it's vibrating a little bit on the back, but it's not oversteering. It is not distorting at higher volumes, which is pretty nice and okay for this mid-range setup on the Nova 10 Pro. When it comes to the further specs, we can read it here. We have a 6.78 inch OLED screen, 50 megapixel main camera, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and Snapdragon 778G 4G, the same processor as in the predecessor, the Nova 9, 4500 milliampere hour battery, as well as 100 watts charging. I think this is one of the cool things, that we have 100 watts charging. Otherwise, we have USB Type-C 2.0, we have GPS, GLONASS, and so on. We have Bluetooth 5.2, we have Wi-Fi 6 support, dual band support, we have the fingerprint reader, we have the battery that can be charged wirelessly with 100 watts. Sadly, no wired charging, but 20 to 80% in 10 minutes, as advertised, is really, really cool. And cool thing about this one is the price, about 730 euro, is definitely not what I paid for this device. It was closer to the Honor 70 that I have here. So this is why I got this device, and I think it's a pretty good deal for this one here. And it runs very good. As you can see here, no issues, no stutters, though the 778G in games probably and heavy tasks would probably come to some limits that the processor still has. Otherwise, the system is running very fluid and no issues at all when it comes to running the system, running applications there. What I want to show you as well is how do I get Google apps running here. There's a nice little trick. We can search for Gbox. We go to gboxlab.com, and there we can download the brand new version of Gbox, which is an application that puts the Google stuff into a container, something like a virtual machine where it's running, but it's not like starting up a complete virtual device. It's just emulating that it is another device, so that Google Play services think, okay, I can run. So I agree here, quickly installed, hit allow for it to allow to run in the background. If you don't want this, then you don't get notifications. So keep this on, and otherwise it's installing itself here. It takes a while for it to install and download stuff, but then it will pop up with the option to install applications, recommended apps, as you can see here, and you can just say, okay, I want to install Google here. I have to allow a few things, and it will go then to the Play Store or allows me to install the Play Store here, and have to sign in, and then I can use this device as well. So you can see I logged in. Now I'm in the Play Store. I can install a Google application. I can install YouTube if I want YouTube Music. I can install YouTube Music. I can install YouTube as well. I can install YouTube Studio as well if I need to, and all the other applications. So this is a very cool thing. So now I have like the Google shortcut here. I can open up the Google app and it will bring me to my Google News feed. There we go, Gbox. I can go to YouTube Music here. I can listen to music. There we go. It's signing me in, and I have the possibility to listen to my music. As you can see here, I'm signed in. So this is pretty nice. And as you can see here, you get also notifications. So if you have notifications either via eBay app, for example, or YouTube, for example, it would show up as Gbox here, but it would show the notification for sure. You can click it and directly go into the application, and it would then bring you the Google experience that you might want on the device. Not 100%, but 99% there, I would say. So if you need Google services and you like the phone and you don't need Google Pay or something like this, then this might be something that you can try out. And one of the other highlights is the 100 watt charging. So I have a Honor charger here, 135 watts. It's compatible with this one, can charge it as well with 100 watts. So if I plug it in here, I get the bubble animation. If I press and hold here, max 100, but now if I press and hold here, I can activate turbo charging on this one, which charge even faster. And let's wait a few minutes and then we see how fast it's charging up from roughly 20%. After 5 minutes of charging, we can see that we are at 58% here. Let's go into the battery settings and see a bit more. So approximately 18 minutes until fully charged. So we are roughly 60% already. So 10 minutes, 80% from 20% or even lower is really possible on this device. It gets a bit warm here, but not too hot to the touch. So after 10 minutes, some of you can see it already 84% charged here with turbocharging. Granted, I was like charging from 21, 23% onwards, but it's really cool that it can charge so fast. 10 minutes from 20% to 80%. This is just simply just go shower, make you a coffee, make a coffee and then drink it, and then you're like fully charged up for the day, which is pretty awesome with this device. So 100 watt charging is legit on this device. Let's talk about the camera. As you can see here, it has a double island, looks very nice with this golden accent color around the main camera. We can read the text here, AI triple camera, 50 megapixel RYYB sensor, f1.8, 27 millimeters. Very, very cool indeed. And we want to take a look at some of the videos and photos of the main camera on the back, as well as the highlight, which is this front-facing camera here, 60 megapixel with 8 megapixel zoom lens. So, and I am recording here right now with the Nova 10 Pro's front-facing camera that has 4K 30 recording, which is like for premium mid-ranger. Some even like in the high class don't offer 4K recording. This has a very wide field of view, but it's not wide enough. I can go even wider. Like this is the native 60 megapixel super wide kind of view that you have, and by default it's cropping in 0.8 times, which looks like this, which is pretty cool. And if I want to, the sun, how good is HDR? Let's see. I don't think it's overblowing the back here on the front-facing camera, but I have product showcase, so I can show you, like, for example, this remote here of the Fire Stick very closely, and it is focusing on it and back on my face, which is pretty nice indeed. And also I have the possibility to go in 2x zoom, which is switching now to the tele zoom lens on the front, which is also pretty cool. Also, I think should have focus. There we go. Should have focus, and then focuses back on me. Not sure what this is for. Maybe for showing my earbuds. This might be very interesting to show. I'm not like using any makeup or so, but I can show you my earbuds. Sometimes that might be very helpful indeed to position myself, because it's very hard to do it if you don't see yourself. So this is the front-facing video here, and what I can do is during recording with the front-facing video, and this is a true vlogging champ, I can switch to back-facing camera during recording the video. And now I have to switch back here. This is the back-facing video, and as you can see here, this is one of the few phones that I know on the market. I think even the Mate 50 Pro doesn't have this option, where I have the possibility to switch during recording between the front and back facing cameras. Ideal for vlogging, I would say. This is now the 50 megapixel main sensor, RYYB. You get a nice creamy bokeh, I would say, 1/1.5 inch size sensor here. I'm just walking around in my apartment here, but yeah, this is pretty nice. Even in 4K 30, I have the possibility to zoom out to the ultra-wide angle. This is now the ultra-wide angle, 8 megapixels, 4K 30, 8 megapixels. How the heck is Huawei doing this? Probably either they have a slightly larger sensor so that they can read the full 8 megapixel in video format, or what they are doing is upscaling from 6 megapixels roughly that they are using, which still produces a sharper picture than only 1080p. 4K 30 here on the Huawei Nova 10 Pro. This is a sneak peek. I will do a camera review, of course, on this device as well. Microphone support, external microphone support should work fine as well on this device. So this might be a true vlogging champ. What do you think? Write it down in the comments. So one thing to check out, how does it fit in this TPU case, soft case, condom case, as others would tell or say. So yeah, you can see the design. It's protecting the camera bump because it's like a little bit going there over the edge, and the same for the screen. You can see here, yeah, it is slightly protecting the screen as well. The lip is going through the edge, so this is not rubbing on the screen, it is rubbing on the edges here, which is nice. We don't have a cutout for the buttons here. We have like buttons inside of the case as well. Yeah, otherwise it fits nicely, has the cutouts done nicely for the speakers as well, and I think also large enough for USB Type-C to plug something in. So yeah, this is the Nova 10 Pro with the case on. So overall, with the Nova 10 Pro, my first impression is very positive. There are only some downsides that I'm skeptical still. The processor, Snapdragon 778G, is someone that was already, or a processor already from the last chip, last generation. We had some stutters and some, slight problems with speed there. It's a mid-range chip. This device being 700 euros, this would be unacceptable. With under 500 euros, I would say, yeah, it's still okay, but I really would want to see a Snapdragon 870 maybe in there, or even the 888, heck, even the 888, even if it's like a bit over, overproducing some heat and a little bit like getting too hot. I think this one would work a little bit better. This would make it really a premium mid-range device. Otherwise, yeah, 8 megapixel ultra wide angle. We have to see in the camera review how good it is. I'm a bit skeptical there as well. The rest is very, very solid on this device. And yeah, software is running fine. You can see I'm still doing my first installation of everything. I have Google installed here with the Gbox app. Probably will do a video about this, how good this runs as well. Otherwise, yeah, well, I'm a little bit skeptical on certain parts here of the Nova 10 Pro, but like I said, under 500 euros, definitely something to look at. So what do you think about the Nova 10 Pro? Write it down in the comment section. That's everything for the first unboxing and look of the Nova 10 Pro. Until the next time, bye.